What's up, Joey? Good to see you, dog.
Morning.
Good morning. Crusher time. Let's
Trying to
see,
make sure
August
I don't have any
13th.
technical difficulties here. I had some Fusion 360 open. It was sucking up everything. So I think we're
Okay.
clear.
It'll do that, right? I think we got everything going that's supposed to be going. I got my blue check mark back on X, so it should be streaming on X, and we'll see if that actually works. Let's see. Today is August 13th, 2025. Top of the hops. We got what's going on here? I got a new setup on my screen. Onocoy. Announced they've done $7,000 in token buybacks. Good to see them committed to the project. They also released a BONO to ONO conversion video. So if you're having problems with that or have questions about it, hit that up. Anyone land? Funnily enough, my mom was just in France. She fucking broke her arm and had to. So she goes and gets a cast, and then she's trying to organize the surgery because it has to get whatever rebroken or pins put in when she gets back home, and needed to get access to her medical records, but because her system, whatever, detected she's in France, she couldn't do it. I guess Joey will be right back. So I was like, hey, there's this thing called a VPN. Check this out. And VPN works super well for it. They also announced that they released the NPM SDK. So pretty cool that that is going down. Let's see, Helium stuff. Joey and I'm sure we'll come back to this. But the Welcome Pack learnings, we had a call earlier this week about what's going on with the Welcome Pack. Torque Coffee is live with Helium Mobile. And then I went to a San Diego tech meetup yesterday and just explained to a couple people what's going on, or like the difference between Helium Mobile and IoT, because that is super confusing. In fact, I think I've got a lot of other things to do that are probably more important for me. What's up, Fred? But I might do a video on the difference between Helium IoT and mobile, even though it's been over a year, is that every time I meet people, they have no idea that there are two different things, and it's super confusing to them. And I thought it might just be generally useful. And that's Helium Mobile, of course. In Hivemapper land, let's see, what do they fire up? Omaha is live with bursts, so 619 OTA. If you want to drive to Omaha, there's a bunch of bursts there. Go get after it. And then let's see, Wi-Fi Dabba they're going to be on a live later today with DePIN. I think that's on X. So go check that stuff out, see what they're up to. I think they're doing something like how to launch a project or something like that. So good to see them sharing their news. DIMO is talking about launching DIMO University. It looks like oh, it's so bad that I don't know all this stuff. Looks like it's a podcast or kind of video series on how to use DIMO. I think that's great. Love to see it coming online now. I think all these companies, and this has always been one of the things that Max and I talk to him about, is like, hey, get some videos up. Make sure you're communicating with your people all the time, and if it'll always feel like over communicating, and almost no one does it. So they have all kinds of communications problems. So it's good to see a project lining that up. 619, you're heading to Arizona this weekend. You should just keep going and go all the way to Omaha. Wingbits land, they announced that traffic has doubled in Q2. I'm assuming that means the traffic they tracked. Joey's coming back. So that's good. What's up, Joe?
Hey,
Joey. And then Wingbits is also up over 86% quarter on quarter. So that seems like a nice big number. Let's see, Spexi. Keenan, I'm going to do my best to pronounce your crazy fucking Canadian places, but they're shipping swag. And Mississauga, how do you like that? Ontario is live. So if you're a Spexi pilot and you're in the Mississauga area, go get after it. Get that drone in the air and then go collect those points. WeatherXM had a cool thing. I've always liked the WeatherXM guys because they're just super focused on not only doing the WeatherXM thing, but also giving back and making the world a better place, especially in this, what do they call it? Maybe the southern hemisphere. So they are down in Africa in the Maasai Mara Conservation Center, and they were talking about a really cool deployment down there, and really cool in the sense that it's a place where they can use weather. It's actually useful. They're not just doing it for crypto, and it also looks pretty beautiful. Plus, I've always wanted to go on a rad safari and check out that part of the world and haven't yet. So it's good to see them getting after it and doing it, combining all the good things. Let's see, Mississauga top secret project. A couple of people have seen this. It's not going to go live yet, but I am super fucking excited about it. I got a bunch of nano tags for people who are in San Diego to help me with this. So if you are in San Diego, yep, that's exactly them. And then you can also see the inside, which I showed last time. But yeah, super fun stuff. And then what's Travis saying? There's a new Mesh Core YouTube channel. Okay, I didn't know that. Let's see. Flywheel Systems is doing all the graphics here. So if you like what you see and you want help with DePIN, reach out to them. There should be a link down in the description, flywheel.systems. Joey, that's it, dude. I don't know if you're just taking a quick nap there or, or what.
Hopefully my audio is okay. It was doing this cut in and out thing, and it's still kind
No,
of doing it a little bit even after a reboot. So,
no, you're good to go. I'm hearing you
so
fine.
something's a little extra noisy in my RF environment over here.
Okay. Well, what's I thought we'd talk a little bit. I mean, maybe it's we can't about the welcome pack experience so far
Mhm.
and what you guys are learning. We had a brief, I don't know, half-hour conversation. It felt like all the smart people in, or some of the smart people in Nova on Tuesday. And I'm curious to learn what you guys are learning and kind of what direction you guys are going to push into.
Yeah. Forgive me. I'm gonna go like strategic down, I
Yeah.
think is maybe the way to go.
Start at the top.
Okay, so let's look at the IoT network, right? Uh, in the early days of building out Helium, you could buy this little box and you could set it up at home and you would provide valuable coverage to all sorts of stuff, right? Because that reach of that thing was so far, you could get, miles out. You could be up on a hilltop at your little suburbs or whatever and cover an entire city.
Yep.
Um, and so the narrative there was like, just get the thing, set it up. You can like participate in this network. Um, that sort of continued in with CBRS, right? So now you had a box, it was more expensive, a little bit more setup. You had all the, SaaS fees and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, you could reach maybe a, I don't know, mile radius. I can't remember what that stuff was, but
Yep.
um, similar story. So yeah, you could set this thing up at home and presumably cover the park that was a block away or whatever, that kind of thing. Um, Unfortunately, that didn't play out. We all know the reasons there, the user experience and all that stuff. So we find ourselves in the Wi-Fi world now, and you've got a device that rocks at its job, but only within this like small circle. Um, and so the strategy of like just get anyone to sort of set one up and put it somewhere has shifted, and we started to look at this more of a B2B experience or sort of C to B. I don't, however you want to frame that, right?
B to C to
But
B to C to
really,
CB. Yeah.
yeah, I think Noah made the same joke. Yes. Uh, I shut that conversation down because it was going into the gutter. But um, uh, like now you need to get these things in areas where they are actually valuable. Like setting one up in your home, sure, it's kind of fun to play with. You can have Helium Mobile and you're going to connect and all that. But there's not interest from the MNO carriers to have that coverage. They think they've
To
got
enrich
it.
you for using your
So
phone at home. Yeah.
yeah. As much as it might drive me crazy, and I directly asked them when I was in person at AT&T, I was like, my house is in a dead zone. I have APs pointed up and down the street. Can I turn this thing on? They're like, it's just not in the cards for them. Um, so anyway, the focus is commercial. Um, and so how do you reach those folks? And that's where we've started to see brownfield as like a really good opportunity to scale sort of massive numbers of hotspots as we convert these networks over. Um, but the greenfield side is more challenging, and we see, the flywheel systems and the, various other folks going and just making it their, night job or day job, so, frankly, sometimes, to go out and make these connections and help people set these things up and make the deals and pay for the internet, like, everything you could imagine. But it's a small set of people that are doing that. So we've
Yep.
sort of lost this community in a sense. Like we had, was it some hundreds of thousands of unique wallets on the Helium L1, right? Um, and taking this back and getting a little bit more to the strategic side of it, how do we bolster that community more, right? How do we enable folks like you and me to go and, we have a friend that runs a shop. Whoever's running that shop has friends, right? So we have to find our way sort of into that network so that people know what is available. And that's the hypothesis, the strategy for this welcome pack thing. Have I lost you yet? This is like just
No,
all
this
the way
makes
down.
it makes sense. And I would
Yeah.
actually, I mean, I haven't been listening to the various podcasts that go out with Helium. I saw that a buy's been on them, and it looks like there's a push to get this information out. But this is the first time, at least for me, and this is just, I just have so many things to do. I'm not hearing it. This is the first time I've heard this strategy articulated. So I don't know if this is a brand new thing and you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it more in general, and everyone already is, and Nick has just missed it, or if this is kind of
Nope. This
an early piece
brand
of
new.
like, hey, this is what's happening.
Yep. No, this is out of conversations that we've been having with these beta testers has helped us form the language a little bit and have
Mm-hmm.
these discussions internally. And so, yeah, you're hearing it here first.
Badass.
There's
Cool.
literally a thread in Slack from yesterday that's basically this.
Got it. So to make sure I'm understanding this and just to repeat it back, is you guys are seeing that this is no longer a individual piece in the same way it was with IoT because their
Mhm.
requirements are different. You don't have the range that LoRaWAN has. You have the range that Wi-Fi has. So you're going from 30 kilometers to 30 or whatever, 30 meters, um, or sorry, 100 meters.
Yeah, 70. That's what we're
Is what you're planning on. Okay, you're counting on.
yeah, anyway,
Okay.
there's an
Yep.
HRP coming out. Anyway.
Okay. And then, so the intent then is like, hey, or the realization is that it doesn't matter if it's in your house because the MNOs who are MNOs, MVNOs, MNOs are the ones who are buying the information and they don't want to buy, my mom's house um, in her little whatever. It's not an old people's neighborhood, but yeah, they don't want to buy like her house where maybe 10 people walk by a day. They want to buy it from a coffee shop. So you guys are seeing that like, all right, we need to make sure we hit the businesses, but we want to retain this community built feature or this community built aspect of the network. And so
Mhm.
we're shifting our language marketing and kind of outreach to make sure that businesses feel like they can be part of this community and kind of build it as a community in that sense. Kind of.
Yes, kind of. Um, Probably won't shift language too much. You know, it's going to continue to be a make sure you're deploying in commercial areas, all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff.
Yep.
The and maybe the like I haven't talked with marketing yet, so maybe language shifts, and maybe you're ahead of me on that side of it. Um, but the key piece is understanding the tooling and the blockers for somebody like you or me who is a regular at a coffee shop. They know my order. I know the owners. You know, we're friendly, right? Um, I think a bunch of us are in that scenario right now, but we haven't breached that topic of helium. We haven't breached that topic of crypto because in the back of our heads, we're thinking, I need reward splitting. There's going to be a platform. I'm going to have to pay them some, hotspotty fees, like all that kind of stuff, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I've been down that path already. I'm not going to go bite that off again, even if I think it's cool and I think it could be fun or whatever. And so I want to bridge that gap by creating that tooling and creating the understanding so that people feel confident and comfortable going and signing somebody else up. And when that person is signed up, they should also be able to become a Helium fan or advocate and fully understand this thing that they're participating in.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. And I think I mean, as we talked about
Tell me
on,
I'm wrong.
no, no, I think in
Yeah.
general, you're right. I mean, let's see, in the comments, so George is saying I only have a few hosts, but I'll pay them cash and never mention crypto. I know Joe's been working on the onboard kit, but is there any way we could have a way of setting up sharing with a cache? I don't know why
I
you
think
would,
it's just with cash.
yeah,
Yeah.
with cache. I'm not sure why you need it though, George. Like you can just go in there and be like, hey, I'll pay you $20.
Well, it's about this. So like what the welcome pack is doing, like getting into the tactical bit of this,
Yep.
the welcome pack is a way to take a hotspot and on-chain create an agreed split. So it's smart contracts. This is the dream of smart contracts that everyone, you know,
We've been talking about
just
this for a
talk.
long time. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, this is like back to the ETH days. Like you could do all this. We're actually like doing it and it's actually practical, which is kind of fun. Um, But what that's going to do is you blast tokens at a wallet. It's going to take those and then distribute them on some cadence, and that's tuck tuck this mechanism that can do automations on chain. Um, and today, hotspots get rewarded in HNT. And then so that HNT is going to go into a recipient smart contract and then gets blasted out to your
You got to say it
participants.
the fan out,
So
because the fan out is the cool guy way to say it.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, fan out wallets is what Noah calls them. So they're um, anyway, so getting to George's point, like, can we reward those people in crypto? And I think the way we'll solve this is you're going to receive HNT, but right inside your new Helium, this is the new bit that we're not showing off yet. You will see your tokens. You will see as a host the hotspots that you are hosting, your percentage split of that. You're going to understand what you're getting as a sort of an arrangement there. If you want to go buy a hotspot, by all means, you could do that. But you'll see those tokens and you're going to see a send it to my bank account button. And so you can literally take those and just push it straight into your bank account. Um, and we're using an off-ramp partner to do that. So it's sort of all handled. Anytime you're touching a bank account, you have to KYC. It's the
Yep.
annoying part. You have to scan the ID and stuff like that. Um, I'm sure that's going to be some friction for some people, but unfortunately, we got to take it
Suck
up
it.
with government. Yeah.
Suck it.
But
We're not making the rules there. Okay.
you can literally get these things and you could automate that, and it's just going to like send it straight through to your bank, and you're going to be happy that you're getting whatever little bit each month.
Hey, kind of funked. That's funny. Kind of fucked is in Germany and is a dude who's like super hot on IoT and LoRaWAN. So a lot of the mobile stuff will be a little bit confusing. Let's see, Travis. So you're not paying your hosts from a tax perspective. Are you
That
asking? Go ahead, Joy.
I don't know. I'm not tax advised. So, as a whole part of this whole thing, we're going to have to go down a bit of a rabbit hole to understand what sort of reporting needs to land on the host side or things like
Sure.
that. Um, the mechanics of it is it's all on chain. Um, so we're
Nice.
gonna
And
we're gonna do a little
really,
bit more research there.
if I'm thinking through, like right now, as of August 13th, 2025, the process is at the very least like minorly janky. And for me, like majorly janky, just because I made a mistake and put my hotspot in the builder app and it needs to go into the black wallet, despite being told that I should have put it in the black wallet first. I'm like, those guys don't have to. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it the easy way, which turns
So
out to be the hard way. Story of my life.
yeah. So and that's honestly that's going to be the bigger lift of this whole project is when I joined the Nova team, I took a look around me and I was like, there are so many freaking apps. And like, how do we expect anyone to navigate all this stuff?
Yep.
Um, Wallet app, builder app, hotspot dashboard, Helium vote for governance and staking, world, like all this stuff, right? Like there's five, and there's probably ones I'm missing. Um, and so to make this platform easier for folks, we need to consolidate all of those experiences into one home. And so that's the other side of this. So Builder app, along with its associated login methods, need to be migrated. The Helium wallet needs to be supported, all that other fun stuff, external Solana wallets, things like that. Um, uh, so that'll be the bigger lift. That's the jank part that you ran into. So we've got our heads down to make sure we're solving that.
Yeah. This is the question: is like, what am I supposed to do here? So for folks who are doing this now, I'm not sure if it's even worth going through the process because it will change, and I'm guessing it'll change pretty quickly.
Mhm. I
Um,
mean, we can touch on the fundamentals of it.
yeah. So, well, I'll walk through what I've got to do so I'm clear in my head. So I put everything into the Builder app because like I'll just put all my mobile hotspots in there. I'll keep my IoT hotspots in the Black Wallet, and that's how I'm kind of separating them in my mind. And that
Mhm.
way, people who I onboard on mobile, like they maybe see my mobile hotspots, but they don't see the LoRaWAN hotspots, which is really not that big of a deal anymore. I'm already a fairly public figure in this world. But in general, it's like, I should probably separate those two things. But it turns out that I have to send I have to send the hotspots from the Builder app wallet back into a Black app wallet. So I'll
Mhm.
do that. And then once they're in a Black app wallet, it'll be a separate one from the rest of my stuff. And so I guess they can see each other's hotspots, which is fine because I talk about that on Twitter anyway, saying like, hey, Torque Coffee has one and Bika Coffee has
Mm.
one, and I'm going to try and get one in the Salon Bordeaux, and which I think this is kind of like a cool hot tip, and I didn't know, and this is just me being, I'm sure there's some pejorative term for this, but not knowing shit about hair salons, is it turns out there are a lot of people who go in a hair salon and sit down and talk to other people and have their phones on. And so if you're looking for a place where you know almost for a fact they don't know a fucking thing about technology, like they didn't go into cutting hair because they were technologists, and there's a lot of people and relatively high dwell time, and they would probably appreciate help with technology, I think salons are a great place to attack. So not just pizza
Mm.
parlors and coffee shops, and grocery stores. And the other thing that I would love to get, and I'm not going to make the time to do it, is Vaughn's is a grocery store line here, and I think it's in California.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how far east it goes, and anything east of Yuma is the East Coast to me. But fuck, they always have like semi terrible Wi-Fi in there. And every time
Hmm.
I look at a Vaughn's location on the Helium Explorer map, it's like, hey, this is a, what do they call it? Like a boosted location.
Yeah, or
So
observed demand probably, or yeah.
yeah, there's demand there. Like, man, if you could get some kind of contractor, like work on the contract with Vons or with grocery stores in general, that would be a pretty good one as well. Cause you're always standing in the checkout line. I'm always standing either in the checkout line or right in front of the ice cream, seeing like, hey, let me check the Vons app. Is there a good deal on Haagen-Dazs today? I'm going to buy it anyway, but I might as well get a good deal if they have one. And internet
Yep.
can be a little bit slow. Um, okay. So it goes from Builder app to the Black Wallet app into its
Yeah.
own wallet.
So
Go ahead, sorry.
that piece that piece is the pain part that
Yep.
only you're going to experience.
Yep.
Just yep.
Me and probably 20 other people.
Eight.
8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no one's going to get this. So once it's in the Black Wallet app, then I can go into our coffee and say, hey, you no longer have to rely on me just promising you I'm going to give you 50%. Um, Let me send you this link, or I guess you scan a QR code, which
Mhm.
opens up your own wallet and basically assigns 50% of the earnings or whatever percentage I set to that wallet. And so that is
Yep.
the fan out piece.
And the sort of magic piece of it is you are talking to somebody that's not crypto native, right?
Yep.
So you're like, oh, I'm going to give you half of it. And we're like, half into what,
Yeah,
right?
half of what?
Do I have
Monkey
to,
bucks. Yep.
yeah. And into what, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go set them up with Phantom or a Helium wallet or like save your 12 words here, 24 words, right? It's even more of a thing. You got to figure out where to store it.
Yep.
Um, Go buy a ledger here. Like, it's a whole, the crypto on-ramp world, like I feel like Helium has outgrown crypto in certain respects. We got to think outside of the bounds of like, oh, it's fine. They're gonna they're gonna figure it out. Everyone already has a wallet. No, we got to reach outside that bubble. So the magic part, when you send them that QR code, it's got that chunk of that earning, uh, like percentage of the hotspot, but it's also gonna kick them off with a brand new wallet if they don't already have one. And so they just log in with an email address. They, do the code from the email. Now they've got an on-chain Solana wallet. You've seeded it with a little bit of Solana through that welcome pack. They're going to get that percentage. They're going to see that hotspot on there. They've got a fully populated Helium experience in about 45 seconds. Just that's the goal, right?
Yeah. Okay. I
So,
mean, I'll go try it with the of the two, the Bika crew is way less technology savvy. So if it works with them, it will work with anyone. They
yep.
know what the fuck they're doing with building a coffee shop and food, but they don't seem to care at all about technology.
Yeah. I ran this test with somebody that runs a restaurant, and she's like like solo owner, no employees, like top to bottom runs it herself. And she's
Jesus.
like, I don't do computers. Yeah, I know, she crushes it too. Um uh but yeah, she's like, I don't do computers. I was like, do you do email? She's like, yeah, I can do email. Had her scan the QR code, she's in 30 seconds. It was easy peasy.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to do that, and I think it's also there was some bumps in the road for me, like so I've got one Helium mobile hotspot that's at Paleo Treats. It doesn't do super well there just because we don't have enough traffic where people are sitting around. Like they come in, we talk to them, and they walk out. We're not a coffee shop. Yep. maybe ever. So it's like, oh, I'll just move this down to the salon if they want it. But there's a bunch of earnings that it's had at Paleo Treats, and so I've got to figure out a way. Like, I would like to know when does that split start? I'm assuming it starts when I send them the welcome pack thing.
The no, so the split will aggregate in the fan out wallet, and then as soon
And does that go back in time? Like, is that hotspot's been up for, I don't know, months, maybe a year?
uh,
I'm not counting on HNT to
I'd
pay
have
my
to ask Noah
mortgage,
about that. Yeah, that's a
but
detail I
I'd
don't
be
remember.
not the
Yeah,
happiest stuff is like, hey, let me just give you all the earnings I've earned over the last 8 months just because we haven't figured out a time
right.
set.
Yeah, I mean, my recommendation is just claim the rewards out, and then you're clean slate from there. But we'll
Got
figure
it.
out those
Okay.
details too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And some of them, various things. Okay, cool. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
how that thing goes. And then we talked about this on Tuesday. It's like it'd be pretty cool to get hotspots up and down Adams Ave and make this like a total helium coverage, which is slightly ridiculous just because it takes work, and I'm not willing to put in that dedicated work right now.
Yep.
But also kind of fun. Where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we're doing
Good.
this thing.
Hopefully gets to be a little more casual and it, the way Noah puts it, he's like keep a hotspot in the trunk and if the opportunity arises, you're good to go. It's like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what his
That's
plan is. Um, and I'll add, like, we just talked, 30 minutes about mobile. IoT is not forgotten in this entire experience too. It's the reward splitting and all that stuff is less of a draw for the IoT side because the earnings, uh, imbalance there. But you could do the same thing, and then there's going to be all sorts of management stuff that's going to happen, and it's going to look pretty sweet.
yeah. And I mean, IoT for me personally has far more interest and far more opportunity just because less people know about it and it's harder to do. Like everyone's got a cell phone. They all understand Wi-Fi. If you tell them it's a mini cell phone tower, they just take it on faith that you know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
But IoT, they're like, I mean, I went to this San Diego tech meetup yesterday. They have it every Tuesday at a local coffee shop. I went 2 weeks ago and I went yesterday. And I was like, hey, I got this thing. I'm going to hand out these nano tags and it will be an onboard onto Helium, and like you'll basically get to learn how to do LoRaWAN for free. And I'll send you this blog post on how to do this. I would appreciate it if you would send your data to my database for this project I'm working on, but you don't have to. Like you could do whatever you want. And they're like, well, how do we make money with it? And I was like, I thought this was like a tech thing, and you guys would just be fucking pumped to learn a new piece of tech. And it's funny, like maybe I'm just super privileged at this point, and I still have to fucking work to pay my mortgage. I don't just sit around and let money come in. I have to hustle like everyone else. But these guys are like, they didn't want to do anything unless it was money or money related. And the funny thing for me was that they all wanted to do business, but they all also, not all of them, most of them also said like, I don't know anything about business. And it was a funny thing, like, huh, like you don't know what you're doing, but you want to do this thing. And the only way you'll do it is if you start earning money instantly. Like if there was instant money machines, people would be using them. Like
Right.
you have to learn about something and then go figure out how you're going to use it. So yeah,
What's that meme where like
look at these
I
cocksuckers in the
so
fucking chat.
I know
IoT.
that there's that meme where it's like, how do I get rich? And the answer is just work. Like that's
Yeah, dude, I don't think we talked about this, but I talked about it with another buddy of mine. Like it has hit me super hard in the past couple weeks. Like all you have to do to be successful is just put in the work. That's
uh,
it. Like there's so many people who don't do that, that if you just, I mean, and you don't have to put in, more work than anyone else has ever put in on the planet. You just have to put in the work. Um, but goddamn.
I sent you the meme. Not that that's gonna land for anybody else, but
Yeah. Let's
it's
see if I can
it's a
find it in this
favorite.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's the coolest thing. And so we've done a couple things recently just to prove this out. This whole treasure hunt thing. It was a shitload of work. We printed up all these maps. We handed them out. We rallied and got 40 businesses to sign up and blah, blah, blah. And now when we go into the various businesses up and down Adams, people are like, oh, this thing's so cool. Like, how did you do it? You guys must have done a ton of these. Like, nope. We've never done one before. We just worked our asses off to make this one as good as we could. And we still make mistakes. And that's the other funny thing is people come and be like, hey, you missed this thing on the map. You should have said this or should have said that. And it's like, there's this man in the arena speech. You should probably go read it. But
Yep.
yeah. Oh, is this the 619 how to make money? Page one is work. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Let's
That's the
see.
meme.
I'll have to look at this link when I get. Let's see. IoT is a great money machine, but you got into the benefits. IoT is really finding a niche and just taking an interest. Yeah, 100% in this. And I think I mean, for me, I'm seeing in just understanding some of the mechanics of how radio frequencies work and finding various locations, like just that, never mind the rest of what you can do with like, hey, this is where a sensor is and there's the data you can get off. Like there are so many different aspects and perspectives and segments of IoT to earn with that it's just, I think that's probably true of any sector.
Yeah. I guess my takeaway for IoT is it's really about keeping your ear to the ground and understanding what those problems are that can be solved. And it's an awareness and under knowing that that hammer's in your toolkit, right?
Yeah.
Um, because most people will just deal with the problem or think, like I have to check the thermometer and the thing every day and write it down. Like, but knowing that that tool is in the toolkit, like that's super easy to automate. Like, let me get in there and do it for you and
Yeah.
pay me $10 a month. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. And I still got to get my fucking whatever device I need to get in for this thing so that I can actually talk to it and tell it
I
to
know
be on subband
your,
too.
your insane whatever USB cable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That I can barely look at that without my blood pressure going up. I
Yeah, I've got some of that stuff. I just put them in boxes and forget they exist. Yeah.
got so many. I got a super cool thing I'm working on with NOS Master where we're doing this display piece. And I think we talked about like in a restaurant, I call it table service.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Um, So he was like, "Hey, this is what you need to get." And so we both ordered the same things for like LED lights and switches and magic this and wazoo that. And I've just got like all boxes of shit because it comes in at different times when you order it on Alibaba. So it's like now you have 30 ESP32s. Like, okay, let me wait for the lights to come in. Let me wait for the buttons to come in and the wires and the rest of it. But yeah, I got
That'll be a
boxes of
fun
shit.
one.
Yeah, yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be that'll be super good.
I still really want to just do like metrics on everything, mailbox, all this other kind of stuff, and just have a panel of just like widgets, like an airplane dashboard, and they're all just kind of doing their thing, like at a glance, physical display of that stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think I mean, that's what I want to do with all the temperature stuff and paleo treats is have 5 of these temp things out there. And because it's summer and we don't have air conditioning in there, like I think there's a super cool visualization we can do where it's like, hey, this is the temperature at the ceiling. This is the temperature just above the fridge. This is the temperature at the
Mm,
ground. This is the temperature like in the back, and just make it so
mhm.
you can see like this is what's going on in this place at this time. And I've seen a bunch of research. I'd have to go find it, but like when you just start showing people what's going on and give them a way to see and visualize their world, they change their behaviors. So I can
Yeah.
tell
I,
people as much as I want, like turn the fan on. But if they start seeing it, it's like, oh, I should turn the fan on.
so I have somehow I know one guy fairly well. I just met another one. This other guy that I met is what do you call it? He like builds the displays at museums.
Hmm.
So like the interactive exhibits and
Yep.
stuff like that. So he does it for the Chabot Space and Science Center, which is like a NASA funded thing.
Badass.
Um, and I've had this idea in the back of my head, which I've always thought would be really cool, is to go around the entire San Francisco Bay and put in height sensors. So you're measuring the tides.
Hmm.
Um, and then, of course, feed all that data into a platform, but then represent it on miniature scale with like little actuators on like a cloth surface or something.
That would be cool.
So you'd have like this shrunk down version of the bay and you'd
Yeah.
understand the moon and, interactions and all that, scan through time, whatever. It just like, I don't, in my mind, that's just like a fun thing to build.
Yeah. 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 That's rad. Every
Yeah.
time I go to San Francisco and I fly in there, I always see that island to the south of one of the bridges, and it's just like a big giant rock or
Mm,
like a
The
giant.
Rock?
Oh, it's just like
You're
it's a
talking
big.
about Alcatraz?
No, no, not Alcatraz. No, no, it's
Yeah.
What is it? It's in every so often you'll see it go up for sale for like $50 million or something.
Oh yeah, the one right by the Richmond Bridge. Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm
yeah.
always like, God, if I hit the lotto, I'm going to buy that island and build a house on it. But I'm sure there's a reason that of all the billionaires in Silicon Valley, no one has done that.
It apparently is in like four different counties.
Okay.
So to build anything on it would be the just absolute nightmare of every single entity having an opinion on what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I've looked into it.
Maybe they can do this gerrymandering thing on that and actually do something
Right.
useful with redrawing the lines
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
pissing
Uh,
off America.
yeah, I think it's in three, I think, yeah, three counties or something. And then of course you're like it's so small, so everything you're doing is within, 100 meters of a waterway. Like it's just
Yeah.
everything. Um, but anyway, yeah, I've always wanted to just go sneak onto that island because there's a flag up there and somebody's done it. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
dude, I should come up there and we should just do a little we probably shouldn't talk about this on YouTube, but we should do a little a mission to go to some island somewhere and put a hotspot on
Yeah,
top of something.
bring 619 out there. We'll bury it in the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Kind of funked. All I want is sensors acting like they read their own data sheets. Yeah. I'm working on something for that. Me and Nick Huff are putting this thing together that I think will go a long way towards doing that. So yeah, one of many projects. Yeah, put a hotspot there. I think that's the thing, George. Is like I want to put a hotspot everywhere just because it's fun. I had this idea the other day that it would be super cool to build a um, a hotspot setup. And in San Diego, you can do it because you can just get away with a really small solar panel. But basically, that would be designed to fit on top of a telephone pole, and you would just drone it
Hmm.
up there. It basically like a cap would slide over the top of the telephone pole. It'd probably have some powder actuated nails or something, so it hammers in, and now it's attached there, and it just sits there. And because the top of telephone poles is a great place for hotspots in general, um, like super fun
You
way to
could
deploy it.
you could do little spring like it'll lock on, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know what that mechanism's called.
yeah, yeah. There'd be something fun
Powder
there.
actuated's fun, but don't have to explode
Come
things.
on, dude.
Yeah.
Travis done it with a grain salad. So yeah, like I had this idea that just a drone would fly up. And in my perfect world, the drone has some cameras on it that just automate this, where you just like point at the telephone pole. You're like that one, go,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it drops on. Um, Kevin, is it safe to say that observed demand areas are always solid areas for outdoor hotspot deployments? I've actually got some questions about outdoor hotspots as well, but I'll let you take that one.
So observed demand, I think it's worth talking about where that data comes from first. And so that is an aggregate of all Helium mobile subscriber mapping. And then we take all of that, we process it, we filter out all the residential areas, we make sure we're not doxing someone's location, all that kind of stuff. Um, and so what you're seeing there is a visual representation of where we see high traffic in commercial settings. So, the question is, say okay to put an outdoor hotspot there? Yes. Depending on the venue, though, right? So if it's a doctor's office, those people are inside. If it's a Vaughn's, right, those people are inside. If it's a park, those are outside people. So you kind of want, I'm trying to get to this point for the mobile network, and I've talked with the team about this, but really just thinking about using the hotspot that's best for the deployment, less about, oh, the outdoor hotspot's going to get me more POC and whatever, so I should use that one. Um, it's kind of a weird answer.
Okay. Oh,
The the TLDR is, yeah, you're probably good to deploy there, but you have to just apply a little judgment.
outdoor ones will not include T-Mobile. Is that true?
So T-Mobile typically does not look for outdoor coverage. AT&T's really trying to offset all their costs out, you know, that they're paying for
So,
transfer everywhere. But
uh,
yeah.
let me ask you this then: Is this salon is right across the street from a once a week market where there's like a million chicks running around buying and selling used clothes.
Yep.
Um, and my idea was to put an outdoor on top of there, point it right at this. I've got two questions. put an outdoor on top of this thing, point it at this parking lot that's empty 6 days a week or 5 days a week, and then 2 days a week it gets this market with a couple hundred people? Or should I just do like an indoor hotspot, or probably do both? Is step one. Sounds like maybe I should just do the indoor hotspot because the outdoors don't take advantage of both carriers, and I would want more
Yeah.
surface area for getting traffic.
Yeah, I mean the best answer if you sort of want to capitalize on all of that outdoor and indoor is both, and that's what I
Yep,
see. I talked to a guy yesterday who had a thing in a laundromat. There was one on the roof that covered the gas station, and then he had one indoors that was just crushing it because it was a laundromat. People have nothing better to do. Um,
that's the
that's
best.
the other alpha like salons, right?
Yeah,
Um, uh,
and then
yeah.
okay, I got one
I
more
would start with
question.
the indoor, right?
Okay,
Yeah, that would be that's the easiest thing to do.
yeah,
And you can always go back and add more.
and then because there's going to be so many people on the weekends in that place, if I decide to do the outdoor, it seemed to me, and this will just betray my lack of understanding, is that I should probably put at least two hotspots up there. So I got two radios to cover that many people because it'll be a couple hundred of them.
Mhm.
Is that true? Or is it like, no, Nick, that's not how it works. You just need one radio and that's fine for 300 people or whatever.
Depends on the setting. The antenna itself on the outdoor radio is 120 degrees sector, loosely, right? Um, and so if you're trying to cover like an entire 360 view, I could very much imagine two of them blasting out and doing that really well. Um,
But it's not like
it
having
it
two will
also
increase the total. I'm sure Joe at Network
like
Advice is
a
like, dude, how do
addressable
you not
number
know
of
this?
people, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Um, I mean, how many thousands of people you're talking about is
Yeah, it's
kind
like a
of
couple
what
hundred. It's
comes
not
back to
like
it, right?
thousands. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so then your backhaul also needs to be able to support, if you had that extra overhead, like it needs to make sure
Yeah.
that there's a
I
good quality of
think if I do
experience
the
for them.
outdoor, I'll have to do my own separate line for them because that was their big complaint is that they had AT&T fiber, but it dropped out and it would stop the music in the
Hmm.
store. And they said that was super important to them to keep the music going. So they switched back to Cox, which was slower, more expensive, but more reliable. But for me, if AT&T drops every so often and someone's phone like disconnects and reconnects, they probably won't notice it.
Right. And that's kind of the nice thing about this being a redundant layer on what may already have coverage. So yeah.
Yep. Um, let's see. I had a couple other things. I got one fun memory I had this morning, and then one of let's see. So 619 was asking, is there cell service on that island? And George is saying put a hotspot there. And this is where Travis's ears will perk up because my plan had always been to just do that as a mesh because that seems like the
Mm.
obvious piece. And that seems like the obvious piece for almost every hotspot that I think I would put up that is off grid, just because that decreases your ongoing cost. Yeah, what is your operating
Sure.
cost?
So you would drop the hotspot on the island and then go onshore and put your edge gateway, I guess it's called.
I thought it
So
just
it's the
transferred through other
backhaul.
hotspots, or would I need a specific hotspot that it
They
transfers
have to
through?
be friends. Yeah.
Fucking cocksuckers. I'm sure I could find a friend somewhere.
Yeah.
Or I can get Germ to put a directional antenna on top of his house and figure it out.
There you go.
Because if
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a,
I think Jerem's, I think, posted up on another island out there somewhere. So he could probably have that line of sight.
yeah, 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 and he's a crusher when it comes to, God, when it comes to RF. Dude, I had this memory this
Actually,
morning. Good.
wait, we're talking about cellular shit. I gotta make a punch for this thing.
What is that?
Do we know what this is?
Tachyon? No, what is it? Something fast?
So Particle, the company out of San Francisco here that
Oh, you mean
makes,
the company that I bought a
yeah,
board from a year and a half ago and that hasn't sent it to me? And when I asked
yeah.
them, they were like snarky about it. They're like, "We'll get your board to you."
Well, I've had better experience. So this is their version of a Raspberry Pi.
Okay,
And you'll note
badass.
there's a bunch of other shit on there, right?
Yeah, that's not the
This
Muon.
has,
Did you get the one
nope,
that was
this
supposed to get
is
sent to me that I fucking bought? That's the
probably, because I
Tachyon.
somehow got a bunch of them. So I'll have to just send you one of the ones I got. Um,
Cocksuckers.
they're good folks, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they are. It's just their one customer support lady that I've dealt with is She's always, I'm like, hey, I'm the one that paid you the money to give me the thing. That means you need to be nice to me.
Right, right, right. She's probably getting a million of them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I'm
tough.
sure I'm not the
It's
only
tough
person
out
that's
there.
like, what the fuck? Okay, so this thing,
Okay,
this tachyon.
so yep, yep. So similarities are going on here, right? Notably, you've got all your like Pi format headers.
Hmm.
This is a fully cellular capable Raspberry Pi. So all of this shit is cellular antennas.
Badass.
So you could go slap, and this is what I intend to do when I somehow magically find the time, but slap a concentrator on the top there,
Yep.
and now you have a fully
Fully
cellular
operational
backed.
Death Star. Badass.
So, yep. And so in the format of this, right? So you're not doing your extra cellular modem, you're not doing all that extra power, all that other fun stuff. It's right there. Um,
Nice.
so anyway, go drop that on the island, right? So
Yeah.
these are cool. It comes with a battery. I don't know what idea is there yet. I haven't run the thing. Their pitch is all around, do AI on the edge. So it's got like microphones and shit that you go plug into it. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna use it as a LoRaWAN gateway, I think is my thinking.
Huh. And then Travis is saying you have to go through Particle for backhaul, or like you just put in whatever SIM card you want.
Think it's through Particle,
Okay.
and I think it includes some data, the existence of the thing, but
Hmm.
don't quote me on that. I haven't gone through it yet.
Joey has
Um,
promised that everything will be free. Got it.
yeah, yeah.
619.
Paid
I've heard
for
you can hack
by proof of
the
coverage.
you can hack the DIMO AutoPi to be a cell hotspot. Huh. I have not heard that.
Hmm.
I'll have to check that out. Oh, I was going to tell you, I had this memory this morning. I was like washing the dishes or making my coffee, and it hit me. I was like, remember when IoT hotspots, and Keenan will remember this because Keenan and I have both had the experience for sure.
When ship?
You'd hit consensus, and it was
Oh
like
yeah.
the best day ever. You're like, holy, you'd wake up and your IoT hotspot had hit consensus, which doesn't mean anything to anyone who's doing it now. But at one point, all the entire blockchain was running on these like 6 or 7 thousand Raspberry Pis. And so they all needed kind of their turn in the barrel to validate or whatever they were doing. And when you got that, you would just get a shitload of HNT in one day.
Hmm.
I forget what it was. What was it, Keenan? Like, or Joey? It was like, I don't know, like 70 or 120 HNT that you get in an hour or two.
Well, so there were consensus groups, and you would
That's right.
hit, was it every 5 minutes? And so if you were in that consensus group, you
Yeah.
would typically get reselected a couple of times.
Yeah.
And so each one would be 5 HNT or 10 HNT,
Yeah. 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 It
whatever
was
it
just, I
was.
remember,
Yeah.
and you'd be in there and you'd be watching it like, please stay in the group. And I guess you'd get kicked out if you weren't fast enough or good enough or whatever.
Yep.
And so you'd be like, dude, stay in the group. Like, I'll get faster in it. I swear to God, like, come on, just keep me in this thing. And then after whatever 10 rounds, you'd get booted and you'd have a shitload of HNT and feel like you were the king for no reason. Like you were just lucky.
Yeah. The other really fun thing that was a lot of luck is when the chain would go down and then wake back up, and there would be like three hotspots in
Mm.
that round that would
Yep.
just get all of the emissions for that
Yeah. It's
period.
just
And I
the
remember
printer
some
was
people
going.
getting just, yeah, some people just got hit with like 500 HNT or 1000 HNT just like in a minute. It was
Yep.
crazy.
Well, those are
But
good times.
totally random.
That was fun. Well, we should just get rid of POC and bring that back, like 619 says. Bring back consensus, get rid of POC. I'm sure that'll work out
I,
super well.
I've, I've heard it suggested.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I think I like the utility pairing of the thing instead of it just being pure lotto, but
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
opinion.
Gambling's fun. Vegas makes money. Let's see what else is going on. I'm trying to think of stuff that I've got that I can actually talk about, but all my time is consumed with my one top secret project now.
Yeah.
But
Um, well, I've peeled back the layers a little bit on the thing we're working on over here. So that's one of the big pieces. There's some other stuff going on
I
that
like it. One thing I was going
yeah.
to tell Star Watcher, I listened to the IoT working group call the other day
Mhm,
because I know you've got to process all whatever it is, 200,000 or 100, whatever, however many hotspots are on now.
mhm.
Is why not for this anti-gaming thing and for the edges and nodes and all that, is why not just process the top 20% earners? Because those are the ones where like A, they're most likely to be cheating, and B, they're siphoning off the most.
Right.
He's probably already doing it. And he's like, dude, You are so dumb. You're thinking what about what I was doing in 2008?
Right. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's worth surfacing again that these ideas may have come up, but then with additional context and additional tooling, like, oh, it becomes a better idea now because we have better analysis to apply to it. Um, I'm toying around with an idea. I haven't just discussed with the IoT working group yet, but we have these defunct makers on the network, Nebra, you know,
Yep.
Bobcat, whatever. Like there's loose keys out there, there's loose hotspots. Who knows what warehouse of shit that ended up in somebody's hands, right? And so I'm curious if it makes sense for the IoT network for onboards of hotspots from those defunct makers to be POC ineligible. Um, so even if you had the like full thing, it's just going to only come online and do data transfer. And that would presumably put a damper in some of this stuff. Like I think there's a deny list going out that's going to take out a bunch of Nebras that somebody's doing nefarious things with.
Hmm.
Um, that would just be an easy way to really like lock that in to the known good operators, and we can focus on making the remainder of the network perform well.
God, I bet you have people pissed though because they buy it on eBay thinking they were going to buy something good, and they're like, "Oh, you already broke this thing, and how was I supposed to know?" I
Right.
like the
Yep.
idea, but
That's
man,
that's the problem.
the messaging
Yeah.
thing is a pain in the ass.
But it
I
still does the
saw
work.
what's that?
Mm. Still does the work of like the data transfer. It's the
Yeah, yeah,
core
it does
thing
the
of
thing it's
the
supposed to
network.
do,
Yeah.
but doesn't do one thing. I saw yesterday this dude I met is building. Have you heard of 3D websites? He didn't even have a website or like a URL to go to. So you have to Google Gumroad, Webcrafter, and 3D website builder. But he was building these sites that are like video games. So I'll type it out in the description in case. Was it Gumroad? Is it 2 words? I don't know. Webcrafter 3D website builder, and you should find it. Um, he was building these websites like as you scrolled up, you went deeper into the website in 3D, and he was building the website almost like a game you would explore. So rather than having
Hmm.
like a regular navigation menu, and I think you could always like scroll up or scroll down or swipe left or something and get back to the home, is that you would like explore this website in 3D. And it seemed like a super cool idea. Although he showed me a demo and I was like, man, that looks super hard to navigate, but I'm not a gamer. And so for guys or girls who game normally and they're used to like moving in on a computer screen
So
in 3D,
the tool is called Webcrafter, if I'm saying this right.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like
Um,
he had his shit together with like making it really easy for someone to use. That's like that's almost the second thing I do now. Is the first thing is I'll have an idea and I'll build out like a concept that works well enough and like, okay, cool, it's a good idea. And the second
mhm.
thing is I buy the website and build the brand and then put them together is how I do it. But this guy's just like,
It's
you must have,
because
yeah,
you, you have discipline to focus on all the tasks that matter, not just the interesting one. So,
yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, this is cool. This reminds me of there is a 3D design software called Spline.
Okay.
And if you're familiar with Figma, it's kind of the 3D equivalent of Figma.
Okay.
Um, and one of the things that I've always thought would be really fascinating is to build a full digital twin of a space or to build a website of a space and then have it driven by devices. So you could have a lamp turn on and off and it would turn on and off on the website, things like that. Um,
Oh, that's kind of neat. Yeah.
yeah,
I could see that.
I went down a brief rabbit hole on that, got it loosely working, and then never had time to like sort of build the whole thing as a classic. But
Yeah, that sounds so familiar.
yeah, uh,
Cool.
yeah, but yeah, these things are cool. The capability of a web browser is really far beyond what it used to be with WebAssembly and WebGL. You can do a lot of really crazy shit. Um, so yeah,
I
expect
believe
more
you.
of that stuff later. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
super nerdy stuff.
yeah.
I'm trying to see like what else I had in my notes. Fuck. or this guy was telling me about some podcast stuff, and then onlinejobs.ph. I don't even know what the fuck that was. Um,
Hmm.
the other thing that they said at that thing was they're like, hey, there's this trend now of meeting up in real life. And I was like, oh shit, I've been doing that kind of accidentally for a long time. But it seems like maybe that I'm finally in the way of this this wave of people meeting up in real life. And that was kind of cool. Whereas a lot of these things like, hey, people are tired of just being online and just seeing each other on video as you and I do, is
Mm,
that they want to
hmm.
get together and be like, oh yeah, let's get together in Barcelona and go for a walk and find some fucking badass cafe and sit down and have like a nice meal.
That's
And
kind
that,
of an extreme, but yeah.
yeah, that was pretty rad.
We live like a 45-minute flight from each other. That's what it took.
Yeah, it's like,
But
I'll see you on the other
yeah,
side of the world. Have a good time.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, it's interesting talking to like my cousins. One of them just rejects computers. Like she does not want to be on computers. And it's this, I think, recoil from COVID when everything had to be on a computer. It's like
Yeah.
all their friend interactions, all that. And so they're just like, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Suit
so,
yourself. It's like, I don't want to
yeah,
deal with these newfangled telephones. How could they be useful? Like, all right.
yeah. It's
Matterport integration.
inconceivable for me, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I met someone who's like, I don't do YouTube. And I was like, why don't you just like cut off your arms? Like, it's not like it's critical, but it's just to say that you're not going to do that seems silly.
Mm.
Matterport integration of IoT. I saw something about this. Do you know what this is, Joey?
No,
No.
I'm familiar with Matterport. So
Okay.
that's, people take these 3D cameras into houses to do real estate images and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's my understanding, right? I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe we'll go drag George into here.
Yeah. Yeah. Come talk about it next. Well, not next week because I think I'll be on a flight. I got to fly out to see mom and get her taken care of. She goes into surgery Wednesday, so I get in Tuesday, take care of Mumsy, and then I think the following week is probably the Helium community call. So I might not see you for 2 weeks, is my
That
guess.
is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
man. Vacation,
Yeah.
vacation, taking care of my 81-year-old mother who is
Well,
fucking still
you
super
know what I'll
short.
say?
Hmm.
I guess I have to do the plug here. So, Artie on the comms team at
Huh?
Helium
Double
has
A.
signed me up to be a podcast host. Um, so next Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, I am going to be interviewing. I'm not going to pull this up in time.
Somebody
Ariel
about
from Hivemapper.
oh badass.
Um, uh, what is it? I'm gonna find this
I
fast
guess the
enough.
market got tired of
Uh,
us not putting out deep in states because I'm now seeing all of these different companies saying like we're going to do a podcast on deep in,
right.
and I think Max and I are like,
All
oh
right.
fuck, we did them all.
Here we go. So I'm talking to Matthew Ney, who's a research analyst at Masari. Talk to Ariel, of course, Hivemapper, and Kyle Samani from Multicoin.
Never heard of them.
Um, yeah.
Badass, cool.
Um,
So are you going to run a
so
new Helium podcast? Is this the high signal thing
uh,
or unknown?
this is the DePIN playbook, seems to be what it's called so far.
Okay, and
Um,
this is like a
I don't know.
podcast that Helium is putting on.
It's going to be Twitter Spaces, so
Okay,
live and in the moment. No video, just something to tune in and listen to. Um,
safe.
yeah.
Great, yeah. Like if
So,
people aren't doing video, then I don't worry about it because like those things last. I always look at Twitter Spaces, and I could be totally wrong about this. And Sierra Catalina does a
mm,
fucking crusher job, or she was the last time I paid attention with Twitter Spaces, and has built up like a super good audience. But for the
mm,
most part, she's like, if it's not recorded and easily accessible, like it is on YouTube, it's just hard for it to stick.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
would love to see it, if this thing is successful, get to video because I agree. Like otherwise, this stuff is just a moment in time.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Oh,
but
Kevin, you got
we'll
your
see.
Hivemapper
We're
B,
taking it,
515
taking it
days
easy
after
at first.
purchase.
515 days. Yeah,
That's
hardware's
it.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, you're crushing the helium hotspot record.
yeah.
Uh,
It sounds like people are having fun with those when they get them from what I've seen on Twitter. So
yeah,
hopefully
yeah. I just
it's
don't
that is the
drive enough
case.
for this stuff. Like I took out the Hive
Me either.
mapper, I took out the DIMO because like we never drive and it was a pain in the ass and I think it would suck down the battery and it's like this is just not
Yeah.
worth it. This needs to go to someone that is an actual driver.
I I got T-boned this weekend by a deer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a car
So that's
accident or get your car stolen in the last year too?
it got stolen. Yeah, and I got all that taken care of. And then I was driving home from my parents' place this weekend and going across the lane just slammed straight into the side of my car.
Huh.
Um, so I gotta get that taken. I can't open my driver's side door anymore. It like really hit.
Huh.
So no hive mapping for me to suffice to
At
say.
least not out. Well, yeah, I mean, you could mount it on the side door. You'd be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the body shop for a while.
Hmm. Okay.
I'll be.
Cool. Did they give you a
You'll
nice
see me
loaner or you're biking?
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Um,
All right.
uh, anyway,
All right.
wild. It's wild out there. Stay safe.
Fucking A. Wild
Yeah,
Kingdom. All right, Joey. We'll see you 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, but I'm sure I'll see you online.
sounds good.
All right.
Take it easy.
Peace. We're out.
Bye.